Have you ever wondered why the Coca-Cola logo, the shape of its bottle, and even the text on its website can all be protected by law, but each one under a completely different type of right? In today's session, we'll understand intellectual property and intellectual property rights, covering trademarks, patents, industrial designs, copyright, geographical indications, and finally, the benefits of securing IPRs. By the end of this lecture, you'll clearly understand the validity periods, governing acts, and practical relevance of each of these rights, which is extremely important from an exam point of view. Let's begin by understanding intellectual property. Under introduction, intellectual property is created through human intellect and holds commercial value. Examples include inventions related to products or processes, new designs, articles, literary or artistic works, and trademarks. Intellectual property right refers to the rights a person holds over their mental creation. Intellectual property rights IPR are legal rights granted to creators or owners, allowing them to prevent others from commercially exploiting their intellectual property for a specified period. Remember this because it is frequently asked in examinations. The distinction between intellectual property itself and intellectual property right, the legal claim over it, is a common definition-based question. Moving on to scope. If you observe the illustration, this slide gives a visual overview of the different categories that fall under the scope of intellectual property, setting up the various rights we're going to study individually across the rest of this lecture, namely trademarks, patents, industrial designs, copyright, geographical indications, and finally, the benefits of securing IPRs. Building on that idea, let's discuss intellectual property rights. The intellectual property rights were essentially recognized and accepted all over the world due to some very important reasons. The first reason is to provide an incentive to individuals for new creations. The next reason is to accord due recognition to the creators and inventors. Another reason is to ensure material reward for intellectual property. And finally, to make available genuine and original products. The next concept we'll discuss is the administrative structure for IPR in India. If you observe the illustration, at the top we have the Controller General of Patents, Designs, and Trademarks functioning under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. Below this sit the Patent and Design Office, the Trademarks Registry, the Geographical Indications Registry, and the Patent Information System with offices located across Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Ahmedabad, along with the RGNIPM located in Nagpur. Notice how this single authority oversees patents, designs, trademarks, and GIs all together, which shows how centralized IP administration is in India. This brings us to validity of IPRs. If you observe the table, it compares 5 types of IPR against their maximum protection, renewal terms, and the governing act or rule. The first row is patent, maximum protection of 20 years, renewal every year, mandatory, under the Patents Act 1970 amended in 2005. The next row is trademark, lifelong protection, renewal after 10 years under the Trademarks Act 1999 amended in 2010. Another row is design, maximum protection of 15 years, renewal after 10 years for the next 5 years under the Designs Act 2000 and Designs Amendment Rules 2014. Following that, copyright, 60 years, no renewal required under the Copyrights Act 1957 amended in 2012. And finally, geographical indication, GI, lifelong, renewal after 10 years under the Geographical Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999. This is one of the most important concepts in this chapter, since the table comparing validity periods and renewal terms across all 5 IPR types is one of the most frequently asked questions in exams, so make sure you remember each row clearly. Let's shift our attention to relation between IPRs. The logo Coca-Cola is an example for trademark, shape of the bottle, and industrial design. Patent may have been obtained in respect of bottling equipment. Copyright in respect of the text, database, or artistic work appearing on its website. That is, a single product can be protected by more than one IPR. Can you relate this to a real-life example? This Coca-Cola example is a favorite illustration in exams to show how multiple IPRs can apply simultaneously to just one product. Let's continue with Introduction to IPRs. If you observe the illustration, this slide serves as a transition, visually introducing the individual categories of IPR, trademark, patents, industrial designs, copyright, and geographical indications that we are now going to study individually in detail across the rest of this lecture. One more important concept is trademark. A trademark is any design that can distinguish the goods of one trader from another. It includes symbol, words, logos, pictures, colors, or combinations of these. In pharmaceutical arena, trade names for certain drug may be registered as a trademark, for example, Viagra. It is covered under the act called Trademarks Act 1999. It replaced the Trade and Mercantiles Act 1958. It extends to whole India. Let's look at the different symbols of trademark. The registered symbol, registered trademark. TM, intent to use application filed for product. SM, intent to use application filed for service. Now, duration of trademark. Trademark, 10 years plus renewable. Service mark, 17 years plus renewable. Remember this because it is frequently asked in examinations. Students often confuse the trademark duration of 10 years with the service mark duration of 17 years, so keep this distinction clear. Let's continue with trademark. If you observe the illustration, this slide gives visual examples of well-known trademarks, reinforcing how symbols, logos, and brand names function as trademarks in the real world. Moving further, let's discuss patents. It is the exclusive right of the inventor to prevent others from possessing, using, selling, manufacturing, and importing the patented invention or offering to do any of these within a definite geographical area. Patents have territorial jurisdiction. That is, we have to register the patents in all countries where we have our interests. Patent application can be filed online in India by the inventor or his assignee on www.ipindia.nic.in. Let's continue with patents. Patent is an exclusive monopoly right granted by Government of India for an invention to the inventor or his assignee as a territorial right in lieu of disclosure of the invention to the government. Term of patent, 20 years from date of filing. Think about this for a moment. A patent is essentially a trade-off. The inventor gets a 20-year monopoly, but in exchange must fully disclose the invention to the government and, ultimately, the public. This brings us to Patents Act and rules. In India, patent rights are governed by the Patents Act 1970. At present, the third amendment of the Act, known as the Patent Amendment Act 2005, is in force. For application of the Patents Act, rules are made by the government, which are known as Patent Rules 2003, and as of now, the Patent Amendment Rule 2006, further updated in September 2015, is in force. For better understanding of the Act and rules, the Draft Manual of Patent Practice and Procedure, MPPP 2008, is made by the Patent Office. There are 4 patent offices in India having work distribution according to their geographical location, namely Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. Keep this point in mind because we'll use it again later. The 4 patent office locations, Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai, are commonly asked in exams. Let's continue with Patents Act and rules. Let's look at the criteria of patentability. Novelty, inventive step, or it must be non-obvious, capable of industrial application, not fall within the provisions of Section 3 and 4 of the Patents Act 1970. Now, under Patents Act 1970, Section 3, list which are not inventions, frivolous or obvious, contrary to well-established natural laws, injurious to public health, mere arrangement or rearrangement, discovery of scientific principle, discovery of living thing or non-living things in nature, method of agriculture or horticulture, a mathematical or business method or a computer program. Section 4, not patentable, atomic energy related. This is one of the most important concepts in this chapter, since the 3 criteria of patentability, novelty, inventive step, and industrial application, along with the Section 3 exclusions, are frequently tested together. One more important concept is industrial designs, the ornamental or aesthetic aspect of a useful article of industry, aspect that gives special appearance, aspect which differentiates from current products. only the aesthetic or visual form of a product, not the technical, that's patents, nor distinguishing features, that's trademarks. The ornamental or aesthetic aspects of an article consist of three-dimensional features such as the shape, surface, or texture of an article, or two-dimensional features such as patterns, lines, or colors. Design makes the product attractive and appealing to the consumers and adds to its commercial value. For that reason, notice how this connects with the earlier Coca-Cola example, since the bottle shape we discussed there is exactly this kind of three-dimensional design feature. Let's continue with industrial designs. Exclusive right against unauthorized copying. Protection normally lasts for an initial 10 years, after which it can usually be renewed for, in most cases, up to 15 years. Let's shift our attention to copyrights. Copyright is a legal term describing rights given to creators for their literary and artistic works. Let's look at the works covered by copyright. Literary works such as novels, poems, plays, reference works, newspapers, and articles. Computer programs and databases, films, musical compositions, dance and theatrical productions. Artistic works such as paintings, drawings, photographs, and sculptures. Architecture, advertisements, maps, technical drawings, and manuals. Copyright comes into existence as soon as the work is created and protects skill and labor employed by the creator in production of his work. Let's continue with geographical indications. GIs identify agricultural, natural, or manufactured goods associated with a territory, region, or locality. GI gives protection to the group of people or associations involved in the production of the product using traditional skills and knowledge. The manufactured goods should be produced or processed or prepared in that territory. This gives a special quality to the product due to geographical or climatic environment, reputation, specific manufacturing skills, traditions, and other characteristics attributable to origin. It consists of the name of the place of origin and originates from a definite geographical territory. Indian geographical indications: Basmati rice, Darjeeling tea, Kanchipuram silk sari, Alfonso mango, Nagpur orange, Kolhapuri chapal, Bikaneri bhujia, Agra peta. This is one of the most important concepts in this chapter. Examiners frequently ask you to list GI-tagged products, so try to remember at least 4 or 5 of these examples. This brings us to benefits of securing IPRs. The first benefit is legal protection. IPR gives exclusive legal rights to the owner, preventing others from copying, using, or selling the invention, design, or work without permission. The next benefit is encourages innovation. When creators know their ideas are protected, they are more motivated to invent new products, technologies, and creative works. Another benefit is financial benefits. Owners can earn money through licensing, royalties, or selling their intellectual property. And finally, competitive advantage. Protected ideas cannot be easily copied by competitors, helping businesses stand out in the market. The fifth benefit is builds brand value. Trademarks and copyrights help create a strong brand identity and customer trust. The next benefit is attracts investors. Investors are more likely to support businesses that have protected innovations, as it reduces risk. Another benefit is promotes economic growth. IPR contributes to the development of industries, job creation, and overall economic progress. And finally, recognition for creators. Gives credit and recognition to inventors, authors, and artists for their original work. These 8 benefits of securing IPRs, spread across slides 20 and 21, are commonly asked together as a full list-based question. Thank you. And that concludes today's teaching slides. If you found this lecture helpful, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lecture.